What's up, guys? It's Wally. Today, we're going to be doing some battles with the rental team featuring a Pixie Plate Enamorus. Now, I know people have been using Enamorus in a lot of interesting ways, especially with things like Grimmsnarl and Thunderous to be able to get the Prankster to use things like Scary Face or Parting Shot or things like that into it to be able to boost its attack, special attack, speed, and things of that nature. However, even if you don't have things on the team like that to be able to boost those things, Enamorus is still a really strong special attacker and one that I think should be on a lot of other teams as well. And I know Flutter Mane is extremely popular, and it's been that way since Series 2, but Enamorus could be another really good alternative if you want to find a really strong Fairy-type Pokemon. And especially with the Pixie Plate too, things like the Moonblast and the Springtide Storm are going to get boosted even more, so those things are going to be extremely strong. And if you end up terastallizing into the Fairy type, you get that 2x stab on those moves, and especially with the Pixie Plate boosting it as well, it's going to be doing a ton of damage into a lot of things. And especially since there are a lot of Fighting type Pokemon, Dark type Pokemon, Dragons, and everything like that, you're going to be doing a lot of damage with those Fairy type moves. And especially if you see something like a Steel type, which is typically one of those big weaknesses for Enamorus, you do have Earth Power to be able to use that into them to be able to use a super effective move. And even though you're not going to get a boost from the Pixie Plate or anything, that's still a really strong move from a really strong special attacker like Enamorus. One of the things I was thinking about too when I was looking at this team is that if Enamorus was a physical attacker, you could actually do something really fun with Sinistcha and Enamorus. Since Strength Sap typically lowers a Pokemon's attack by one stage and heals Sinistcha up equal to the attack stat of that Pokemon, with Enamorus is contrary. If you end up using that into Enamorus, Enamorus' attack is going to go up by one stage, and Sinistcha is still going to heal up by that same amount. But since you're raising the attack of Enamorus, Sinistcha is still going to heal up more and more every single time you end up doing that. So you look 3 or 4 times down the line, Enamorus is at +3, +4. That attack stat is huge. So no matter how much HP you need to heal up from Sinistcha, which typically isn't more than, 150, something like that, I don't know. You're still going to be healing up a ton. So Enamorus is going to be pretty much unlimited health for Sinistcha, and plus you're getting the benefit of boosting Enamorus up by one stage every single time. And even though this Enamorus isn't a physical attacker, I still think it's something that you could do to be able to heal Sinistcha up throughout the battle if you really need that healing, and you've already used Strength Sap on the other Pokemon enough times that you're not really healing up too much. So it's a good way to really heal Sinistcha up right there. But again, if you did want to go with a physical attacking Enamorus, that could be a really great strategy to go with too. But again, even as a special attacker with the Moonblast, Springtide Storm, and Earth Power, this thing is going to do a ton of damage and absolutely knock out a ton of things too, and I'm really excited to use it. But before we get into the battles, I do want to send a big thank you out to my buddy Lycan, who is the one that put this team together and is allowing me to use it. So thanks a lot, dude. I appreciate it. But we'll get into the battles now. Before we do, as always, if you guys are new here, just haven't chat, please make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button. If you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to drop a like too. But let's get into the battles. We're looking at a Doza without Tatsugiri. That's never incredibly fun, to be honest with you, but I think we're going to be alright. I think what we're going to do is we're going to start Torn along with Ogerpon. In the back, let's have Enamorus and... I'm thinking maybe Roaring Moon, but I'm also thinking potentially Iron Hands too. What does Roaring Moon have again? Stomping Tantrum, Knockoff, and then Dragon Dance, of course, yeah. What does Hands have again? Grass. Okay, yeah, actually, that's not... That wouldn't be horrible against, Yeah, let's go Iron Hands as well. I was gonna say, even if we had to terastallize Grass, that wouldn't be horrible against something like Rillaboom, which probably has high horsepower. Would have to worry about fire, but hopefully at that point we're not dealing with that anymore. So fingers crossed. Alright, let's see what happens here. Let's hope that we see a favorable lead. I would imagine it's probably going to be like Flutter and Chi-Yu or something. Yeah. That's okay. Problem is, I don't know if we're going to be able to end up terastallizing. Booster speed, okay. I think Ogerpon is probably fast enough. 170. Oh, absolutely. And Tailwind? You betcha. So let's go Tailwind. I think we're going to Terrastalize Fire here. Think about this. Terrastalizing. I think that'll still be okay. Let's Terrastalize Fire, and let's go for the Ivy Cudgel over there. Okay. They're not Terrastalizing. They may be protecting. That's always a possibility. But at least we'll get the Tailwind up. And they were boosters, so thankfully we don't have to worry about a like a Sash or anything over there. Tailwind. Now we should still outspeed. We get the Ivy. And we pick up the KO. Question is, do they go Heat Wave or are they going to go with the Dark Pulse? Going Heat Wave. Torn still hangs in there though. That's beautiful. Yeah, if that was Spec, they would have been gone, but thankfully because it was the Life Orb, just enough. That's fair. It's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Problem is, if we do Sunny Day, we're going to be helping them out a little bit too. At least with Chi-Yu. So we're going to go for an Air Slash over there, even though we're probably going to get faked out and knocked out. Let's do that, and let's go for the Spiky Shield as well. I would imagine they're not going to go for the fake out into Ogerpon, but even so... Excuse me for being wrong. My bad. We'll pick up the Air Slash here. Not quite the KO, though. Not quite the KO. Heat Wave will miss over there, but it does end up knocking out. Never mind, we got some good RNG right there. Let's go. Alright, that's fine. They could always end up going for a Grassy Glide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Air Slash over there. Yeah, let's double over into that slot. Let's go Stomping Tantrum. Alright, that's fine. Pick up the KO. That's okay. We can bring Enamorus out on the next one. And honestly, Springtide Storm is going to do a good amount then. And actually, the good thing about this, too, is despite the fact that, yeah, their Rillaboom survives and they're going to be able to get a Grassy Glide off, like, honestly, I don't know who's in the back. And that kind of scares me a little bit. Let's see. They already had Flutter Mane. They have Chi-Yu. They have Rilla. No, I don't think it would be... it might actually be Goldengo. It's either Goldengo or Dragonite. I don't think they would have brought Dozo, because if they did, I feel like they would... Well, no, because Ogerpon is grass too, so... Either way, I'm over-speculating. Let's go for the Springtide Storm. Let's hit both of them. And let's go for the... Let's do that. Let's go for the... We'll go for the Stomping Tantrum over there still. Should have went for the Ivy Cudgel. If that's Dragonite, we should have went for the Ivy. Should have went for the Ivy. Sorry, the good thing here, though, is the fact that Enamorus is going to hit the Springtide Storm on them. Nice. Super effective. And despite the fact that that didn't knock out, that still keeps us in a really good spot here. Tailwind's gone. That's unfortunate, but I think we'll be okay, though. Alright. They protected, so we know that they're not Choice Scarf, and we already know that they're Life Orb, so that's neither here nor there. I'm going to protect on this first one. I'm going to protect in Spiky Shield. I want to see where their mind's at, because they have to Terrastalize here. And my guess it would be into normal Dragonite, but... yeah. Just so they can get the E-Speeds. And rightfully so, too. Can't be upset at that. Okay, again, at least we know what they're going to do. The good thing is we do have... we have hands in the back. And Drain Punch is going to take care of that. That's fair. That's fair. And the Heat Wave. Alright. Not a big deal. We're still good to go here, I think. I think we're gonna go... let's go Earth Power over there. And I'm gonna go with the Ivy Cudgel over there. Either way, Hands is gonna be able to take care of both of them. Enamorus doesn't have the bulk to be able to survive that, unfortunately. Ivy Cudgel, glad we outspeed them. There we go. And we're going to be good to go. Even if they hit this Heat Wave right here, we're going to be fine. I'm just glad Enamorus was able to take care of Rilla and half of... and half of Dragonite, too. Very thankful for that. So even though Enamorus didn't really have the bulk to be able to withstand... whatchamacallit. Yeah, even though it didn't really have the bulk to withstand a Terra E-Speed, still did a good amount of damage there, and made a big difference there in the end. I'm going to protect, that's fine. We do have the speed, though. We saw that on the last turn. It's fine, they get the Fake Out, or we missed the Fake Out because of the Protect. Same with the Stomping. It's alright, we're going to be able to get the... Oop, not the Fake Out. We're gonna go with the Drain Punch and the Stomping Tantrum. This will do about half of everything. Oh, that's right, because we're +1 because of the... sorry, been a while since I've used the Fire Ogerpon. I'm mostly using the Wellspring one, so forget that you get the +1 to the attack and not the special defense on that. But there we go, yeah, that was definitely going to be more than enough, and again, we had the speed there. And thankfully, we did have some damage over on Dragonite, so we could have KO'd with that Ivy Cudgel. So there we go. Even though it did get knocked out to the E-Speed, still did some good stuff out there and made a big difference. Good game. Okay, now this is one where I think we're going to start with Tornadus. I feel like we can definitely get the definitely get a Tailwind up here, especially since a lot of them are really quick mons too. So that might be a little scary. But let's start with Torn. And let's go Enamorus. Let's go Double Genie. And then in the back... so I think we'll definitely have Hands. Part of me wants to go Matcha, but it's such a bad idea. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's end up going with Ogerpon again. I think that's probably going to be best for them, too. Besides, at least if they do end up bringing a Mungus, at least then we'll not only have something that's strong against the Grass type, but also something that won't be able to be spored because of the fact that we're part Grass type, too. We will have to worry about things like Clear Smog and Pollen Puff, which, although don't necessarily seem that strong, are actually pretty strong for what they are. Oh boy. Alright. So let's go Tailwind here. We are a Fairy Terra, so I'm going to hold off on that. And let's go for the Protect with Enamorus. I think that's going to be smartest. Take out into the Protect. Here comes our Tailwind. Please don't be Trick Room. Power Gem, that's actually worse. Alright, that's fine though. Good thing here is now we can actually bring out Ogerpon. Let me think about this. Yeah, we'll bring out Ogerpon. I'm going to go for an Ivy Cudgel over there. And then I'm going to Terrastallize into Fairy, and even though Springtide Storm would be pretty nice, I really want to go for a Moonblast and see if I can just do a ton of damage over there. That would be so ideal. That's pretty smart. Even if they bring in Heatran, though, because of the ability, yeah, that's fine. We have Mold Breaker, so we're not going to worry about their Flash Fire. We're going to do probably about half damage to them because it is a neutral hit because of the Steel and the Fire. And again, I'm just going to hope that this Fairy move is going to do enough. And we do have Stomping Tantrum, too, so we'll be able to do some good damage into Heatran with that as well. Alright, well, here comes, what, Fire Terra? Alright, well, that could definitely be a lot worse, actually. Nice. Half damage. We got the Moonblast. That's perfect. Do about half. Hey, that's actually pretty close, not gonna lie. Wild Charge. Doesn't quite KO. Love to see that. Oops, don't do that. We will end up going for a Wood Hammer over there. And let's go for the Earth Power over into there. It's extremely fair. Can't blame you for that. Who are we wood hammering? Pardon me. That's fine. We're going to pick up a double KO right here. Here's one. Goodbye. We do a good amount of damage to ourselves there, unfortunately, but that'll be alright. And here comes the Earth Power, and we'll KO over there, too. Oh, they have a berry. I did not see that. But it's okay. Because we already got them down to half, they were definitely close enough to be able to be knocked out. Because that would have been a one-hit KO, so it would have done, at the very least, half damage. And we already got them down to half, so let's go. They would get a free Fake Out here. Which is unfortunate. That's alright. Is that... That's not Moon. That's Moon. Alright. Okay. That could definitely be worse. I'm glad we have hands, though. I'm glad we have hands. So let's go Spiky Shield. Let's go Protect. I would imagine that the Mon that they really want to take out here would probably be Enamorus because of the 4x weakness on Roaring Moon. Now, they may do this as a setup to do Dragon Dance, or they just go Acrobatics. That's fair, too. Yeah, they just wanted to double over there. Yeah, so actually, we would have been fine with... That's rough, actually. That's bad on my part. That's fine. Let's go for a Wood Hammer over there, and let's go for the Springtide Storm. Okay, so we pick up that KO. That's good. And again, they can only really knock out one. They're going to have to go Acrobatics here, and like 99% sure that's going to be a lot faster and knock out over into Enamorus. Excuse me, my bad. I obviously do not know the speed of Enamorus. My bad, and we hit the Springtide Storm. That thing seems so much more accurate than Bleakwind. I love that. Let's go. And again, we had that 4x weakness over there because of the Fairy into the Dragon and the Dark type. So, heck, even if we went over there with something like a Draining Kiss, I think we potentially could have ended up knocking out. But either way, look at those two out there, man. Two really strong attackers and ones that ended up bringing us the win. Good game. All right, I think we can actually go with something very similar to what we did in the last game. So I think we're going to start with the same thing with the double genie. And then in the back, we will have Ogerpon. And really, honestly, I think hands can just straight up take out Roaring Moon with whatever Terastallizes into. So I might actually just go hands again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to talk myself out of it. Let's go Iron Hands. I like that mon anyways. Iron Hands has been one of my favorites since Series 2. It was on a lot of my teams back then too. I tried to cool out with it a little bit, but no, it always finds its way back onto one of my teams. I think it's so damn strong. And got so much bulk too, especially with an AV. That's alright, enough about Iron Hands. Maybe we'll do another video on a different Iron Hands coming up. Maybe a belly drum one for the fun of it. Maybe an all belly drum team. That sounds like fun as well. Ooh, here we go now. That's fine. We actually raise our attack, which unfortunately does not help us, but still it's a nice thing to have. Up the attack, that's a little scary, honestly. That's okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go with the Tailwind here. And let's go with the Springtide Storm. I could Terastallize and get some extra damage, but I want to have a little bit of versatility here. Especially with hands in the back and having something with like Stomping Tantrum and all that, like Lando. So that's extremely fair right there. I'm guessing they're going to go with a Rock Slide after we hit with this. After we hit with this. Okay, buddy, U-turn. That's okay, though. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Because here's the good thing. Is now we can actually do a... yeah, we can actually do a double attack here. So we can go Air Slash and the Springtide Storm. We don't... But then again, Rain Dance actually wouldn't make Springtide Storm 100% accurate. I think that's the one move that doesn't get that 100% accuracy due to that. So, that's okay. Either way, though, let's see what they bring out. It's possible they end up bringing out a Moongus, though. Nope, just Iron Hands. That's fair. It's not what we want to see, but that's okay. I'm still going to go Air Slash over there, and let's go with a Protect. I'm okay with that. I'm a little worried about a Heavy Slam. Not going to lie. That's alright. We're going to get our Air Slash first. That's going to be nice. Or Air Slash. Can we get a flinch? We can't. They do get a knockoff. And KO's Tornadus. Now, while that is unfortunate... Well, that is extremely unfortunate. We can go into Iron Hands here. We can fake out, even though they're probably going to end up protecting. But we're going to do it anyways, damn it. Now, let's try to be... You know what? Let's try to call this right here. I feel like they're going to end up protecting up there. So let's do that. Let's Terastallize, and let's go for the Springtide Storm. That works too. But again, they're going to end up protecting Roaring Moon, so we're going to be okay here. Intimidate's not fun, but... I mean, hell, it is for Enamorus. That's okay. We got this, though. We're going to do some decent damage, even with the fake out. And then as long as we hit the Springtide Storm, it's going to do some good damage over into Lando, too. Does that protect? Decent. I know we miss over there. That's fine, though. That's not the problem. There we go. There we go. Ooh, that's some good damage. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. And the attack falls. That is fantastic. All right, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Depending on who they would bring in. Fine. We're still going to go for a Drain Punch over there. And we're going to go one more time for the Springtide. One more time. I was thinking about going for a Wild Charge over there just in case they decide to go for a Terra. Please be hands. Okay, this actually works too. It's another big hit over there because it is super effective. Springtide Storm ain't going to do much over there, but it will knock out Lando. And this is going to get it Heatran down to about half. I think, because we are -1, unfortunately. But again, it is a super effective move. Good damage. Appreciate that. Okay, just lefties. We'll take that. Tailwind's gone. That's not fun. That's okay. The good thing here is that, assuming that's Roaring Moon, that is. The good thing about that is with Roaring Moon... Yeah, they don't have their Proto Boost anymore, so they don't have the attack. Okay. I'm going to go Drain Punch over there, and I'm actually going to go for an Earth Power over into Heatran. Because even if they swap out Heatran, that's fine. Question is this going to be a Flying, or is this going to be... Yeah, that's going to be Flying. Yeah. And again, on the turn before when I said I kind of wanted to go with a Wild Charge, that was the reason why. But it's okay. We're actually fast enough to get the Earth Power first. We knock out Heatran. We're only going to do... Nice crit. Don't think we needed it, though. I think we're only going to do maybe max a quarter damage here. Acrobatics is going to do a good amount. But definitely not enough, baby. Let's go now. Drain Punch. Gets, yeah, about a quarter. Brings it down to about there. That's good. But now, unfortunately, again, they do have hands. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to Wild Charge. And we're going to go for a Springtide Storm. They thought we were gonna protect on that one. It's okay. I think we hit Moon. Yeah, we hit Moon. We knock out Moon. I was going to say, kind of played a little mind game there, because every time that they brought out hands while we had Enamorus out there, we went for the Protect. Every single time that we've had that, went for the Protect. So that time, they thought we were going to Protect again. No. Nope, got to go all out for it, baby. Let's go. So now we got the Drain Punch, and honestly, it's a 5 power difference. The only difference is that one has a chance to lower attack, but this one is 100% accurate. So we're going to go with that, but either way, still picked up the win there. Honestly, the amount of damage that Enamorus is able to do, and that speed as well, it's pretty insane. And honestly, what a great Pokemon to have out there. Really glad that we had that, especially with the Tailwind, but even once we lost that, we're still going to outspeed pretty much everything out there. So, again, what a fast and just strong attacker. I love that. Good game. Okay, now this is pretty doable too, I think. I feel like we have enough that's going to be able to take care of a lot of them for sure. I think what we're going to do to start, though, I don't want to fall into the same trap that I've been doing, especially considering the fact that they do have an Icemon out there now, too. So let's start Torn, and let's bring Ogerpon to start as well. Then in the back, let's bring Enamorus, and let's bring Hands again. Matcha... Problem with Matcha here is, unfortunately, I have to take Acrobatics, Brave Bird, potential Fire, and stuff like that, too. So, even though I want to bring Matcha, especially for the healing and stuff, I don't think it's the best move to go with. But, again, the team that we've been using here, I think we're going to be fine with it. I think we're going to be fine. The good thing, too, is with Can't blame them for that. One thing we do kind of have to worry about, though, is if they go for a Brave Bird off the bat. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go for the Tailwind. If they go for a Tailwind first, though, that's the problem. I'm going to go with the Spiky Shield just in case they try to go priority Brave Bird. It's possible that they do just go for a Tailwind, but my hope here is that is not the case. And at least we get to see their Terra. Going into Fairy. Got you. It's fair enough. Alright, let's see what happens here, though. Please try to go for the Brave Bird. That's okay. That's okay. We all make mistakes. And that was one of them right there. Sorry, I think we may survive this, though. I don't know what the spread is for Tornadus, though. Just barely. Love that. Beautiful. So let's go Air Slash over there. Let's do that, and let's Ivy Cudgel over into Flutter. We need to get rid of that thing. Now is where they probably go with the priority Brave Bird. That's the downside. But we get a +1 here, and assuming we're able to move here, we'll do some good damage, and definitely knock out Flutter. Yeah. Nice. Get the Air Slash. Wow, we actually outspeed Flutter. Alright, I like that. And we knock out, too. Things you'll love to see. I definitely thought both of us were done for before we were going to be able to move. Glad to see that wasn't the case, though. Let's go. Oh, hi, Lando. That's not what we wanted to see. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go Air Slash. Let's go Spiky. The good thing, though, is that we know we have Enamorus in the back, and Enamorus is pretty damn fast. So, despite the fact that they may be Choice Scarf, at least we, yeah, I think we'll be fine. Question is, what do they do here? They swap out? Do they... Okay, one of them is have to go into us, but I would imagine they're going to go Rock Slide. Yeah, I bet you they go Rock Slide. Sorry, at least they do a little more damage. Not much, I think it's only like 4 HP, but... Ooh, okay. Awesome. That's fine. Let's go Enamorus here. Go for a Springtide Storm here. No, I think we're just going to have to lose Ogerpon, unfortunately. Let's go Ivy Cudgel over there. That's fine, though. Again, I think we get the Springtide Storm before they get that Earthquake, though. I think. Not 100% sure, but I think. And either way, if they are Choice Scarf and they do get that Earthquake off first, ain't gonna hit. Ain't gonna hit Enamorus, so I'm good with that. What you gonna do? Uh-oh. Nice! Withstand that, and that actually knocks Talonflame out, which actually means that is going to be a singular Springtide Storm over into Lando. Never mind, they get the Earthquake off first, which means that they are Choice Scarf, but Enamorus does not take damage. And as long as we hit, I think we do enough to be able to KO. I think. Well, that's not great. So let's go into hands here. Dang. Oh, and it's Roaring Moon. Alright, my guess is that would be their Terra. That attack, okay. A lot of attack ones, man. I kind of like it. Oh, they already Terra'd. Okay, cool. In that case, let's go Springtide Storm. Let's try to go for the fake out into Roaring Moon because Lando has to go for an Earthquake. So let's do that into Roaring Moon. They're probably going to end up... Never mind, they're not protecting. Here comes the EQ. They actually hit both. Unfortunately for them, Roaring Moon takes a lot of damage too. And we hit both Springtides. Okay, nice. That's actually good damage into Lando. And seriously, because they're choiced into Earthquake, no shot they're going to be able to hit Enamorus now. So thankfully, I think that's going to wall them, and I think that's going to be the game now. Let's go for the Moonblast, though. And let's go for the Heavy Slam. Let's go. I think that was the case. Yeah, because of the Choice Scarf, and they only had the Earthquake there, allowed us to win there. So thankfully for us, they kind of walled themselves with the Choice Scarf. We were able to take out with the Springtide Storm, and all is well in the world of, I don't know, I guess us. Good game. So with that speed and that power, and especially when you consider the fact that it is holding that Pixie Plate, Enamorus is a really dangerous Pokemon to have out there. I mean, yes, there is Flutter Mane and all that, which is another really, really strong Fairy-type Pokemon, but Enamorus, especially with the contrary, to be able to potentially make some teams not end up bringing like an Intimidate Pokemon, or have them, you know, second guess doing something like a Scary Face or something that into Enamorus. You know, it's nice to be able to have that out there to kind of pressure them with that. And of course, having a really strong team around Enamorus is really beneficial too. You saw how much damage Ogerpon did. Hands is always out there to be able to clean up. But honestly, Enamorus, especially with that Springtide Storm, if it's able to hit, is going to do a ton of damage. And we're also lucky to see a lot of Roaring Moon out there too, which are 4x weak to that Fairy, so that kind of made it a little bit better. But even the Pokemon that ended up being neutral to it, like the Landorus and things like that, still did a good amount of damage and enough to be able to make such a huge difference that they just weren't going to stay out there for that long. And again, there are a lot of different strategies that you can do with Enamorus too. Like for instance, with this one, if you end up going with like physical moves as opposed to the special, Sinistcha is actually really cool out there too because you can use the Strength Sap. I know I mentioned this in the intro too, but have to say it again. You can always go Strength Sap into Enamorus to be able to heal Sinistcha up, but also raise Enamorus' attack by one stage. So it's like a dual benefit there. You help Enamorus out by making it even stronger, and Sinistcha heals up quite a bit. And not just that, but even if you continue to do that, Sinistcha is going to be taking more and more health back from that too. So even if, you know, say you're almost down, you're down in the red and you're almost knocked out, and you're using Strength Sap into Enamorus for like the 4th time, you're going to be getting even more health back in that instance. So again, there are a lot of fun things that you could do with Enamorus, especially with that contrary. But even if you do end up going with something special like this, and having moves like Springtide Storm and Moonblast, which are boosted even more by the Pixie Plate and the potential 2x stab from the Fairy Terra, it's going to do a ton of damage, and it's going to be a really strong attacker out there for you. And we kind of proved that in this video too. And again, another big thank you out to Lycan for letting me use this team, because I know he put this team together pretty quickly, and thankfully I got the chance to use it here. So thanks a lot, Lycan. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the battles. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like. We'll see you guys next time.